Hello, YouTubers. I'm Abdul Fattah Muhammad, and I would like to talk to you about my life changing book. It's called A Million Stars to Self Empowerment. And in terms of the importance of the book or why the book has been written, it will be shared with you as follows. I, as a personal consultant and a MBA candidate, I've been working with Softo Media, a web agency, and we were in the process of building a self empowerment software or self development software. At that point, we started looking at the different ways that we could initiate or launch that particular software. However, it was decided at that time by myself and my senior partners that it would be better for a book to be written about self-empowerment that we would be able to model and use for the software going forward. And that's how the book was created. That's how the book was, or the book idea was born. And I started writing about it. It took a full swing on July 4th, 2018. And the history of the book has that particular aspect involved in it, that it does correlate or it does connect with the Independence Day of the United States. Of course, we are in the United States, in Richmond, Virginia, to be particular. And it initially talks about traits and habits, human habits, which enable the human being to be more effective and more efficient. Now, it doesn't exactly, and this is very important, by the way. We're not saying that these particular habits are good for everybody. What I am saying is that these habits are effective in a good way for me. These habits have worked better for me, and I provide scenarios and experiences. It is a lot of based on, or much of it is also based on my thought process and how I feel that these should actually work. I think it's crucial to mention that, again, the book is not a directive, and it's not a place or a source of pure reference, but its purpose is really to help us as readers find ourselves, find the tactics and the strategies and the habits that best work for us. Those are the stars of our success, or those are stars in which we can find to be successful if we are able to find them, and if we're able to enhance them, if we're able to know how they're best used for us. And that's what the book talks about. It talks about the star components within myself, which I have taken some control, or I have taken notice of, and have developed further and been able to utilize in the best way that I see fit. And that's what we're trying to do. That's the purpose of having the literature, reading it, and saying to yourself, do I agree with the author? And if I do agree, what exactly do I find within me that can better work for me and make me make a successful change and make me be successful in life? Another important point I wanted to make is the fact that a lot of the tactics that I've mentioned in the book are not exactly tactics which have been 100% proven already. Many of them are still within a phase of research, or a phase of experiences and knowledge. Not past experiences, but present experiences. And the important factor of that is we will, go forward with it, and we will say that it did work and why we felt it worked. And this is important to learn about life, that life has certain ways of teaching us things. And if we pick up on it, then we are able to recognize what those lessons are and how to make better use of those lessons in the future. So that's really important, and I want that to be noticed because a lot of times, books that we read, they give us, or that I've read, not everybody, they give us some type of assurances that these methods are going to work, that they're 100% good. And then when they don't work on us, we say, hey, what happened? In my case, I want to say that, it's a trial and error situation. So certain tactics, I've worked on and they have worked, and some tactics I'm still working on. I don't know where they're going to wind up, but I do know that, it's going to be a life lesson learned with that. So that's really important that I mention. Another thing is that many of our, distinguished authors who have written very, very impressive books. I think Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, for example, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich. These are just to mention a few. Generally, people expect, there to be a bestseller or, a highly, effective individual because they've written the bestsellers, or someone who is rich and famous and so forth, which is all great. I mean, this is the reason why the books have been successful. This is one of the reasons why they have actually become so popular. It's a big name. However, in my book, I'm not a popular figure in any way. I'm a civil servant. I work and I pay my bills. I'm a common person. But I want to have the time to evaluate what it is that I do that has been working for me, and let everybody who decides that they are also in the same category of working hard and paying their bills and finding their way in life, to be able to look at the stars within them, the competencies and the habits which best work for them, and be able to put it to best use, so where they can find also what it is that I found within my own personal success, which is riches and fortunes in the way that I see. The book talks about being at tranquility and being at peace within, loving yourself, in other words. And in a minute, I will also go forward and discuss the table of content within the books, but just wanting to give you a little bit of an introduction to the book, the purpose of the book, and the history behind the book. Please do feel free to give any comment you feel is necessary in order to enable to enhance the production of the book, which we intend on launching the very first of next month. And I wish everybody the most success in any endeavors that they are encountering, in any type of effort that they're pursuing to be better for themselves and those who are their loved ones. Friends and loved ones. And I wish everybody also the very best in everything that they're pursuing. So please do subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.